I cannot believe my camera's upside down. Hold on 1 second. Let's switch this the other way. All right, let's see how that works. Uh, uh-uh. What in the world? Let's try this again. All right, I don't know what that was all about. But anyway, Flying Solo, Chapter 13 by Ralph Fletcher. So far these kids have been getting away with running the class by themselves, not too many crazy issues, but things may be about to change. So let's take a look and see. 11:18 a.m. Visitors. Let's put some music on, Christopher said. Yeah, rock and roll. Better rock quietly, Karen told him. Unless you want a bunch of teachers crawling all over us. This is stupid, Bastian said. We've got no teacher, but we're sitting here doing geometry? We're acting like we're on detention. Let's do something. Who's stopping us? You. Knock, knock. Rachel stared at the door. When it opened, Katie Brett sailed into the room. Katie was in Mrs. Riley's class. She was dressed in a blue jumper with matching blue socks and a tiny blue ribbon in her blonde hair. Katie seemed a little bit preppy, perfect posture, every hair in place, but everyone agreed she was a talented actress. She had already appeared in 2 commercials. Geez Louise. They were dumb commercials for laundry detergent, but still, she had been on TV. Mrs. Riley needs the book club orders, she said. Okay, Karen said, taking a large envelope off Mr. Fabiano's desk. Here you go. Where's Mr. Fab? He's out at the moment, Karen explained. Out? Katie glanced around the classroom. Yeah, we're supposed to have a sub, Tim explained, but the sub didn't show up either. We're just sort of winging it today. Bastian elbowed Tim hard. Yeah, right, Katie said. With a toss of her blonde hair, she breezed out of the room. That was stupid, Jasmine told Tim. Extremely stupid. I mean, why not just announce it to the whole school? This lighting is terrible. She didn't believe me, Tim said, giggling. Did you see that? She didn't believe me. It's just too unbelievable. Another knock on the door, louder this time. This time, Morgan Hashagen strolled in. He had a crew cut and an Orlando Magic t-shirt. Morgan's father ran the local funeral home. Morgan was so small, he looked more like a fourth grader than a sixth grader. Mr. Fab? He asked, glancing around. He's not here, Karen said smoothly. You got a sub? Morgan asked, still looking. What do you need? Karen asked him. Hey, where is everybody? Morgan asked. His eyes darted from one side of the room to another, and he looked so funny, Rachel had to work hard to squelch a smile. Karen giggled, and a few other kids joined in. We're all here, Jasmine said. Alone. Fact, Christopher said. Yeah, right, Morgan smiled. You lie. You're right, it's a lie, Karen said. So what do you need? Are you guys really alone? Morgan asked. The sub never showed up, Karen explained, nodding calmly. Guess they figured we didn't need any teacher today. And it turns out they're right. Morgan stared at her. He knew Karen was not the kind of girl who went around making up stories. His expression slowly changed from skepticism to wide eyed disbelief. Really? He looked out at the class. You guys got nobody here? You didn't tell anybody? You didn't tell anybody? You tell anybody and you die, Rhonda told him. This is so cool. Morgan leaped up onto Mr. Fab's desk and started doing a fast boogie woogie. How mature, Rhonda said. Get off there, you jerk. Morgan jumped off and pulled open one of the drawers at Mr. Fabiano's desk. What do you think you're doing? Candy, Morgan said. Mr. Fab keeps a stash down here. Hey, Bastian jumped up out of his seat. You take any of Mr. Fab's candy, I'll break your arm. Okay, okay, Morgan said, holding up both hands, palms out. He picked up a shiny rock on Mr. Fabiano's desk, a cubic piece of pyrite, and tossed it into the air. Rachel drew in a quick, sharp breath. That had been Tommy Feather's favorite rock. Put that down, Missy said. Geez, Morgan said. You guys sure are jumpy today. We don't like other people messing with our stuff, Bastian said. Now Morgan started slinking around the classroom, grinning, looking carefully at everything. Don't you have to get back to your class? Jessica asked. Not really, Morgan said. When he spotted all the open math books on the desk, his face went all bug eyed. Don't tell me you guys are actually working with no teacher? What a bunch of wusses. Getting our work done now so we can party all afternoon, Christopher told him. He leaned back and loudly cracked his knuckles. And you're not invited, Tim said. You're starting to get a little annoying, Karen told Morgan. What exactly do you want? Mrs. Kiefer needs the American History book, Teacher's Edition. I'm not sure where that is, Karen said. I'll look for it and bring it down. Just promise you won't tell any teachers till after school. Promise. Oh, sure. I'm going to go squeal to my teacher, Morgan said, giving her a sour look. He leaped up onto Mr. Fabiano's desk again and did another quick boogie woogie. This is so cool. Goodbye, Karen said. She pulled him off the desk and pushed him out the door. Jasmine had to search all through the supply closet before she finally dug out the history book. Here it is, she said. Without a word, Sean O'Day got up and took it from her. I'll bring it, he said softly. Okay, Jasmine said. Sean's stomach felt queasy, with those vinegary potato chips on top of the soda on top of the candy bar. Maybe a walk would help settle it down before he could get a hot meal at lunch. Usually, Sean got a special feeling, a peculiar kind of airiness whenever he left the classroom to walk in the halls. Sean loved those few minutes when you could go on your own to the bathroom. Those were the only moments in the whole school day when he felt really free, unseen. He always made a point of walking slowly, trying to make those few moments of school freedom last as long as possible. But today, leaving the class was different. He left the classroom where no teacher was watching and went into halls where a teacher might see him. It felt strange, and he walked faster than usual to Mrs. Kiefer's classroom. He knocked. Mrs. Kiefer was standing at the blackboard. Here, he said, handing her the history book. Tell Mr. Fabiano thank you, Mrs. Kiefer said. She was a thin woman with a pasty complexion, and she didn't look particularly happy. He was glad he had Mr. Fab for a teacher. Sean nodded. Oh, that's right. He's out today, isn't he? Well, thank your sub. Okay, Sean mumbled as he edged to the door. On the way out, he spotted Morgan Hasselhagen waving like a maniac from the back of the room. Music was playing when Sean returned to room 238, a song by the Counting Crows, turned down low. Sean looked at the schedule on the board. 11:30, connections, writing again. Sean took his seat and glanced over at Rachel. He tried to catch her eye, but she was deep into her writing. Everyone was. And that is the end of chapter 13. So I wonder if Morgan is going to squeal.